Hi folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to the Man Cave. So today's video, well, I'm just going to call it New Helmet Day. So it's a new year, 2024 January, and normally when I'm riding my Triumph Speed Twin 1200, I don my HJC helmet, which is the Rpha 11. So I've had that for a couple of years now, and you know what, it's a new year and I thought it'd be great to get a new helmet. So I've jumped on the internet, done my internet research and looked at the helmets from Bell, Shoei, HJC, and then finally Arai, and I've narrowed it down to the Arai Concept XE. So that's what we're going to do today, is go down to my local Arai stockist and have a look at the Concept XE, and if I like it, I'll buy it. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and follow me on my helmet purchase journey. But before we do any of that, let's have a quick look at the helmet regulations. It is a little bit of a rabbit hole, so I'm going to keep it very brief, and here we go. So the name of the game then clearly is to protect your head from serious injury, but more importantly what's inside your head, i.e. your brain, from serious injury. If you live in America, then the regulatory body who does all the standards for helmet testing is the DOT, which is the Department of Transportation. And if you live in the UK, or indeed most of Europe, it is actually the United Nations. Yup, the United Nations, not the EU. It is the United Nations that sets the standards and tests a helmet for approval in over 50 countries, and I didn't know that. So back in 2005 we had ECE standards 22.05, and ECE stands for European Commission for Europe. So you're going to see some of those helmets still being sold now, and in 2021 they just sort of updated that to standard 22.06. But from January 2024, then any helmet sold by a manufacturer has to conform to that new standard, which came out in 21. So you can still go into your dealership and he will have, or they will have, helmets which conform to both 22.05 and 22.06. So I think there's about a 3-year grace period or something like that. So you'll find maybe then if you go online, there'll be lots of helmet discounts, because they're basically trying to get rid of the helmets which conform to the previous regulations, which was 22.05. Hope that makes sense. 22.06 will undoubtedly make the helmet safer. Several other things that they do, well, they do a rotational test now to try and reduce the injuries caused to the brain. They also now fire a ball bearing at the visor at about 180 miles an hour. And then if the helmet manufacturer are going to supply accessories to go with the helmet, i.e. intercoms, then when the helmet manufacturers send the helmet off for testing, and if they're going to supply those accessories, then those accessories have to be tested as well, with them attached to the helmet. So how often should you be changing your helmet? Well, there is a whole debate on the internet about how often you should be changing your helmet, but the consensus of opinion is you should be changing your helmet every 5 years. But if you go into your local stockist and the helmet's been sat there in a box new for up to 2 years, then that helmet is still fine. And then when you buy it, on the day you buy it, although it is 2 years old, you can still use that helmet for another 5 years. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So without further ado, let's go down to my local Arai stockist and see about that Concept XE. So let's go. here we are then back in the man cave. So Arai is a premium branded helmet. They actually were started in the 1950s by Mr. Arai, and indeed to this day they are still run and owned by the Arai family in Japan. So this lovely looking helmet here is Arai's take on the classic retro style helmet, and this came out in 2020 when it was actually called the Rapide, but I'm led to believe that there was a problem with calling it the Rapide, so they changed it to the Concept X, and this helmet, the Concept XE, is called the XE because it conforms to the latest helmet regulations, which are 22.06. As we all know, Arai is a premium branded helmet, and as such comes with a premium branded price tag. So the Concept XE comes in 16 flavors. This flavor is the modern grey one, and the recommended retail price of the modern grey helmet is £450. And if you want to chuck on a tinted visor like I've done, that's going to set you back an additional £70. If I was going to spend a lot of money on this helmet, I thought I'd better get a helmet that fits me properly, which is why I went down to my local Arai stockist for their fitting advice. Now, I'm normally a size smaller on a helmet. I've only got a small head, size 56, and Arai do the helmet in 3 shell sizes, and size wise we can go from extra small to extra large, and lo and behold, size 56 on the Arai is a size small, and it fits me absolutely perfectly. The shell of the helmet is constructed from a fiberglass type material, but not any old fiberglass. It is a super fiberglass, and it is 30% stronger than normal fiberglass, but cost 6 times more than normal fiberglass. And the EPS foam liner, the inner liner on the helmet, it's not any old EPS polystyrene liner. It is a multi-density EPS foam liner. There's no internal sun visor on this helmet, and indeed there are no internal sun visors on any of the Arai helmets across their range. They just don't believe in putting that on the inside of the helmet. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the technical specifications of the helmet. I'll put a link in the description down below. Click on that, that will take you somewhere else, and you can see all the tech specs of the helmet. What we'll do now is have a look and see what we get in the box, and it is a very nice box. First up out the box is the standard visor that the helmet does come with in the box. So that is normally on the helmet, but when I went down to my local Arai stockist, the wonderful chap down there, he was very kind enough to put the tinted visor on the helmet before I took it away from the shop. So what else is in the box then? So we have a manual together with some stickers on the back. We have a fog resistant lens, the pin lock thing that hasn't been put on the helmet yet, so I'll do that a little bit later on. We have a couple of tubes of lubricant for the screws and the mechanism on the side of the helmet, and then finally we have a very nice soft Arai bag to put your very expensive Arai helmet in. I suppose we better have a look at the helmet, but first off though, just to say that the fit and finish both on the outside and the inside of the helmet is absolutely first class, no issues whatsoever. Arai do actually market this helmet as a classic retro helmet from the style back in the 80s, but I think with this helmet, which is why I bought it, you can actually wear this helmet not only on a bike like my Triumph Speed Twin, but you can actually wear it on any bike because it's just a cool looking helmet and I really like it. Anyway, let's have a look at the features and stuff of the helmet. We start at the front and we work our way towards the back. As you can see, I wear glasses, and having worn the helmet now for a couple of hours, I've had no issues with wearing the glasses on the inside of the helmet, although there are no specific cutouts for glasses on the inside of the helmet. But I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. If you wear glasses and you're thinking about the helmet, you should be okay. First off then, ventilation. You've got 6 ports at the front here, and there's a shutter on the inside, either open or closed. You've got 2 brow vents on the top of the sun visor. A little bit fiddly I found to start with, but I guess you're going to get used to those. So 2 vents at the top here, and then you've got 2 exhaust ports at the back of the helmet. The overall look of the helmet is really good, really like it, and it's very clean and very minimalistic. To operate the visor, you've got the Arai operating visor system here on the left hand side, and you just pop it up. That's, as you saw in the video, that's going to take a while for me to get used to. But yeah, it's a little bit fiddly, but again, you'll get used to it. And the visor itself, nice and firm. And there's 2 stages, 1, 2. So I guess if you're riding along, if it's not one of those stages, you could, it is quite stiff actually, so I guess you could, like me, if you're wearing glasses and you just want to stop the rain coming in, yeah, I guess you could set it low and then still get a bit of ventilation, depending on how fast you're going. But yeah, nice smooth action on the visor there. On the inside, pretty much everything is removable and washable. So yeah, nice high quality material that Arai have used. And then the side pieces, you can actually, let me just get my notes here. The side pieces then, they have peel away ear cups and cheek pads. And then also you've got 5mm peel away sections on the temple pad. So if you've got problems with the helmet fitting you, then pop down to your local Arai stockist and they'll be able to help you get the best fit for you. But you can adjust the inside of the helmet if things are a little bit tight. In relation to the fitting of the helmet, the strap, they use the double D-ring, and in the 2 hours that I've been using the helmet, I found it an absolute godsend that I can use a double D-ring without losing the D-rings on the strap. On my HJC, you put the helmet on and then they sort of move around and you've got to twiddle with it and to try and get them back in the right position. But yeah, these are absolutely solid, and the D's on the D-ring, they don't move at all, so I really like that. They've also got the emergency release system, which allows easy access to an injured rider. By pulling the orange integrated tabs, the cheek pads slide out. So that's another good thing they've got in there. But yeah, the inside of the helmet is really comfortable, made of nice quality, high quality materials. For those riders that use intercoms, on the ear cups there are speaker pockets, so you can pop your speakers on the inside of those ear cups. So what accessories can you get for your helmet? Well, basically you can replace all of the interior with new stuff should it get a little bit grubby over the years. And then in relation to visors, yeah, lots of different colors, lots of different tints. And if you're kind of a rider that doesn't like tinted visors, but you want something for the summer months to just get the glare out of your eyes, well, Arai do what they call, let me have a quick look, they do a system called the Pro Shade system. So you take your visor off, that comes with the helmet, and then you put this new visor on, costs about 100 quid, and basically your clear visor then has a bit of a drop down sunshade, like on your car where you've got the coloured bit at the top to stop the sun coming in at the top. Yeah, that's a similar thing to here, and it sort of pivots up as well, so a bit of a peak on it as well. I don't think you can put a set of goggles in here if you take the visor off, so it's not that kind of retro helmet. I might be wrong, but if I am, put some comments in the comment section down below, please, and I'll mend the description accordingly. So in summing up then, it is only early days for me and this helmet. I've only been wearing it for about 2 hours. So what do I think of it? I think the finish on the outside and on the inside is absolutely superb, and actually the comfort of the helmet so far is absolutely fine as well. Very, very pleased with that. In relation to the weight of the helmet, this one weighs, let's have a look, 1,550 grams. Now the competition to this helmet will be the Bell and the Shoei Glamster. I think the Glamster weighs 1,300 grams, so this helmet is slightly heavier than the competition, but having worn it for a couple of hours, I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. And in relation to the wind noise, yeah, not a problem at all. There's nothing that springs to mind. The only negative I would say about the helmet, and something I've just got to get used to, is the visor opening operating system. But that's the only negative that I would sort of highlight at this stage. And for those of you folks that want to take your bikes onto the tracks and do a track day, well, the good news is we've got one of these ACU gold stickers on the back of the helmet. So that's it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Make any comments in the comments section down below. I'm going to go out on the road and use this a little bit more now. Take care, ride safe, and we'll see you again soon. Cheerio for now. Bye.